I bet that in your inbox, you have numerous folders. And within each of those folders are all the emails that you need to save, that you're keeping and safeguarding and preserving in case you need them at some point in time. I bet that when you need to look at what you need to do for the day, you may well have a to-do list on the side of your desk and your notebook, or you're trawling through your inbox, looking for those emails that tell you what you need to do for the day, that are showing you the key important things you need to do. And you're making a decision about what you need to attend to. Maybe you're flagging them. So that little flag stands out for you and appears and reminds you that you need to attend to it. Well, here's the thing. What you're doing is spending your time trawling through your inbox to find what it is that you need to do. Now, typically, most people sort their emails in their inbox by the receive date. So, of course, what's always going to grab your attention first is the most recent thing that you need to do. And unfortunately, that thing that was sent a couple of weeks ago that you probably need to action now is not getting your attention because it's way down the list. You may well go right down and right up. And I bet in your inbox, there are emails that have been there since the day dot. So how deep do you go into this well of emails to find out what it is that you need to do? I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge the way that you think about emails, because what you're doing is spending your time processing and reprocessing what it is that you need to do. And you're essentially touching that email every time. All of those emails that you're flagging or that you stand out or that you've marked unread so that they stand out for you, you're processing them every time you look at your list of things to do. What do I need to do? Every time you touch it is time wasted. What we want to do is get to a point where our emails are somewhere else and we have a task list of things to do that are prioritized. In an ideal world, you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it and what is the number one thing you need to do first. Without a prioritization method or tool or system, you're cherry picking and you're randomly putting out spot fires rather than looking at the one that's the most dangerous or burning the hottest. So without those tools, you're setting yourself up for failure. Once you can adapt the way that you process emails, you will find that you will save an immense amount of processing time in your day. Now, when people fully adopt the method that I utilize, they get 2 hours a day back in their working week. Now, that's 10 hours a week that they're gaining back. Saving 2 hours a day is about 10 hours a week. If you look at that over a course of a year, that's probably about 10 to 12 weeks of wasted time. That's processing time that you're spending to look at what things you need to do. Yes, there's other tools like Trello and Asana and Smartsheets. There's a whole range of project management tools, but they're then two things that you're looking at: emails, project management tool, emails, project management tool. Not disregarding those project management tools, but email has become such a driving force of the way we work. We now spend most of our working day watching, guarding, looking at emails, and that's determining the work that we're doing rather than checking what's there, going and doing the work, checking what's there, going to do the work. So what you can do is utilize automation features. You can use different non-linear methods of managing your emails. All of us have been taught a typical method. And I ask you, who taught you how to manage your emails? Where did you first learn to do that? Do you even remember? Chances are you adopted a paper methodology and applied it to your emails. That is, I've got a piece of paper here. It's a letter. It's something that's come in. What do I do with it? And which folder in the filing cabinet am I going to put it into? That's an archaic, linear process of managing your emails. Now, in the digital world, we can look at things from any different perspective. I can look at this piece of information and ask myself, what's the time frame for this? Is it urgent or not so urgent? Can it wait? And how would I categorize it in terms of how I might like to find it? Would I categorize it by the client, or would I categorize it by the project I'm currently working on? Maybe you want to be able to view this piece of information at any point in time from any one of those perspectives. Why just choose one? And in a digital space, we don't have to anymore. We don't have to put it in a folder. Now we can view things from many different non-linear perspectives, but we're applying a very archaic and linear method to the way that we're operating emails. Let me give you another example. Most of us use this keyboard, which is called a QWERTY keyboard because of QWERTY that's spelled across there. Now, when they invented typewriters, you probably remember, some of us remember, that there were keys that punched down like this to put the letters onto the piece of paper. And when typewriters were first invented, sometimes those keys would lock up. They would cross over each other and jam. Anyone who used a typewriter can probably remember that process. And what the inventors of typewriters found is that people were getting too quick. They were far too quick with you punching out those keys to type onto the paper. So they analysed how people were punching keys into the paper and discovered that if they separated the letters, if they worked out which letters were the common ones that were placed together, what letters were often placed together in English language, and separate them from the furthest distance so that the typist would slow down and the keys wouldn't get locked. That was what they developed with the QWERTY keyboard for those old typewriters. But guess what? We don't use typewriters anymore, but we still use the QWERTY keyboard. We're still using this old, slow system because that's the way we've always done it. So why are you doing that with your emails? Why are you applying a paper linear technology to the way that you manage emails? I challenge you to change the way you think. Go to a new paradigm and you'll save up to 2 hours in your working day. And what could you do with those 2 hours? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you'd like to know more about that methodology, please comment below.